Caught your hair there, dear.
Hi, Dennis.
Sorry, how are you doing?
How are you?
Doing all right? Good to see you. Nice to see you.
You too. You too.
Hi, Krista.
I don't know who
What do you think of this? What do you think of this? What do you think of this?
I think it's a wonderful thing. Actually, see youngsters.
Can you push the big button?
People my age. Like you,
Well.
for example.
She's just trying to get us off the sidewalk.
Hey,
Good to see you, Larry.
give me a hug.
Oh, thank you. Always need a hug. Sorry about all your four-leggeds. People keep saying, when are you going to get another? And I'm not ready yet. It's going to take, you know how that works. You just, one will show up, or two will show up. Are you live?
Yeah.
Hello. Oh, I didn't recognize you. How are you? I'm good.
How are you?
I know. Huh? What a crew.
All across the country.
A week ago, they keep changing locations. Because of the quantity. We just never go out to these things, but this time it's different.
You hang here for a minute. I'm gonna walk through the crowd and get some signs.
Okay.
Excuse me. No, it's all right.
You can get the back again. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Excuse me.
You can go right up front. You should go right up front.
How you doing? Leslie's in the back.
Full circle of life.
Yeah. All the way across the country.
Could be Nixon. From the early days. Just a little gray.
I'm getting signs. She's in the back.
I had a young gentleman and his father approached me earlier.
Excuse me.
He wrote an anti-song song, so I'd like to turn that over to him.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Check. This song is called Freedom Ain't Free. So yeah, there we go. Death roams the streets, and drums hard to beat. Fools play their games, kings take their seats. Elon speaks, and the crowd gathers round. But it burns it all just to tear the others down. screams and the rattle of a dying state. The hollow crisis of the world at stake. Our king's ghost still haunts the halls, while hatred and laughter echoes through the walls. If you're black and you step outside, you might as well wait for that long hard ride, beating down the wrecking street. Well, justice is falling back to sleep. Oh, the world keeps turning, but the past won't fade. The rich rock rolls while the working man prays. We'll march, we'll cry, but the wind is south. I guess freedom ain't free when it's built on lies. They say no, but what does it mean? Same crooked hands on the broken machine. Preachers preach, but they twist their words. Jesus weeps at the things he's heard. God, guns, and fear in the hearts of men. Selling salvation, but forget in the end. Truth is small like a rich man's heart. Live the world to his soul. The world keeps turning, but the past won't fade. The rich rock rolls while the working man plays. We'll march, we'll cry, but the wind is sighs. I guess freedom ain't free when it's built on lies. So
Everyone, hold up your signs.
Next generation of leaders he's going to be someday. So I'm going to steal an AOC speaker.
Wow.
Blake, sorry.
Thank you.
I'm going to turn a AOC's trick and turn to the person around you who you might not have come with or known and introduce yourself to them, please.
Larry. Larry.
You're not turning that into Elon afterwards, are you?
No, I'm just Facebook Living it because people that aren't here should see it. You know what I mean?
We're in Boston. It's happening in so many places.
Yeah.
beautiful. Bangor, you are beautiful.
He once said, never doubt that a small group of people can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever can. I come to tell you today, we are the change. When we can't see it, we will be it. And it's not about me, and it's not about you, it's about we. So as you continue to follow our program, please keep that in mind. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn it over to Sonia to keep us rolling. Alright, my name is Sonia Berthasell. I'm your MC for today. And I cannot say thank you enough to Amanda. What an inspiration. Like, yes,
This is good.
It is good.
This is good. I'm getting signs.
To the point of like,
Yeah, I'm getting the signs too.
Yeah, see ya. I will.
And that song that Blake wrote, look at him go. That's beautiful. And I know that we think you two
I think nobody's on Facebook Live because everybody's here.
community solidarity and can-do attitude. That's who we are, right? That's why we're here. All right. So I want to start by acknowledging that we are, of course, on the ancestral lands of the Penobscot Nation. And,
Excuse me.
to feel our feet upon these beautiful beautiful river to whom we are connected. Thank you. Isn't it beautiful to be making noise together and to be in silence with one another? Yeah. There are a few logistical notes I have for you. One is the location of the bathrooms. They are over on the far end of the Harbor Master's little shack over there. Are a couple of porta potties, and there are also some local businesses that you could go patronize and use their restrooms if you so choose. I want to let you know that there are some folks milling around the crowd with high-vis vests. Those are trained and oriented peacekeepers or de-escalators, and they're here to kind of help if you need anything and to just keep us all safe and together today. If you're one of those folks, can you please raise your hand and wave a little bit? Thank you for being here. There is also, among those high-vis folks, there's a person who is a trained medic. Ward, if you could wave, Ward. I know this is a big crowd, so if you can't spot Ward from where you are, that's all right. Just know there is medical personnel on site, and so if you had a need, you could come talk to some organizers, and we'll make sure that we're all taken care of today. As we've experienced already, we get to talk to our neighbors, we get to be in silence together, we get to be in abundant noise together, and sometimes it's nice to come back together, right? So our symbol for that, when it's time to okay, let's all simmer down so we can regain collective focus, is that I'll raise a peace sign, and you can all echo that back through the crowd so that we can all regain silence together as needed, yes? Great. I'm not going to make you practice. That's too kindergarten for today, and we need to go faster, right? We're on the fast track. And the final thing I have is that there are a couple folks who are circulating clipboards throughout the crowd, and so if you want to stay engaged and show up at further things after today, go ahead and sign your name on the clipboard. And also, take advantage of Amanda's modeling and the opportunity to connect with your neighbors and to be building the kinds of grassroots networks that we're going to need to keep showing up in each other's lives in the days ahead, yes? Yes. All right, without further ado, I want to welcome to the stage the Reverend Dr. Malcolm Himshoot from the Church of Universal Fellowship in Orono to offer an invocation.
Hey, everyone, hold up your signs.
You are beautiful, and I'm grateful to be here. Today, we gather and we bring with us our deeply human, emotional whiplash, our concern, our hurt, our grief, our trauma. Some of it the same, some of it different from each other, but all of it matters. In grave times of damage and deceit, dehumanizing disregard and wrongdoing, we are here to push back, to find our resilience, to find each other at the place that hearts meet. So let us set, each one of us, set our intent.
How are you? Hey.
For our time today.
Give me a hug.
Good seeing you, Larry.
You too.
Here we do not want to.
We only live about a mile from each other, but still.
In such a moment,
Across the lake.
Yeah. I was waiting for it to thaw before I walk over.
If you see someone trying to escalate some kind of aggression today, just pray for them. Today is not for engaging in that escalation of aggression. If you're here with violence, you're in the wrong place. What we're about together is more than that. Look around.
Applies to all of us.
Look around. It is said that Hope has two beautiful daughters. Their names are Anger and Courage. Anger at the way things are, and courage to see that they do not remain as they are. Courage is being able to show up together, knowing we're not alone. And the heart being pressing us now, are pressing us to let go for courage and joy. Help us know what direction to go in and give us imagination. As for anger, I trust you have brought your anger with you. Anger is so important. It helps us
Yes.
Did you see where Leslie was?
Let me know if you need any organizers.
Take care.
Yes, we will. We will. Chris will do
Embolden us
that.
to say what matters, what's
We'll get
important
together
about
and
our
do that.
language, and what we will risk for our courage.
We're gonna do an activist show.
Organizing people of faith and conscience in the U.S.
We just keep
to
singing.
stand against divide and conquer strategies.
You know, that might be something.
I believe
Getting
in a moral agenda
like
that
20
stands
musicians.
against systemic
Well, that's just
racism,
the art that everybody on that email stream said I'm in.
Everybody's in. You know, we're there.
members of the human family.
And it's this is what needs to happen, and it needs to swell. You know, it's something that can't be ignored.
Well, it's all the way to York.
You know, I keep reminding people, how did Vietnam end? Because the groundswell of people in the streets. I do have a few. That is what.
Oh, this is not Vietnam. This is one man.
This is even more.
This is one man.
Well, this is more than one man.
Take care, you guys. Hi, Jody. See you.
Take care, Dennis.
Take care, Dennis.
Hands off! Hands off! Hands off! Hands off! Hands off! Hands off!
I've seen so many signs.
Hands off!
Hands off.
Hands
Everything.
off! Hands off!
They got their fingers in everything.
Hands off! 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 Hands off!
One violation after another, sacred lives cut short by policy violence, unconstitutional orders, and abuse of authority. In these times, bodily sovereignty is at risk for everyone. Everyone, not just those of us who are trans and proud of it, but those of us who are citizens and non-citizens alike. Which is why we say, hands off.
Hey, Les, I'm gonna go over and get some more signs.
Yeah, I'll come with you. All right, we're gonna walk.
I like this.
Good. Which way are we going?
This way. Follow me. Watch your feet.
At least that's what the Weather Service said before Elon Musk eviscerated it. But it is truly a beautiful day here in Maine. And it is beautiful because of every single one of you. Here on the banks of the Penobscot River, here and there, there's Wabanaki land, with the Wabanaki Polygon. Maine, first place in the nation where the sun rises. Maine, first. Have another recipient to Donald Trump. We join millions across the nation standing and speaking out.
What do you think?
Make no mistake that all you're here on a Saturday when you could be try to get into it. Make no mistake, it is a great day. One day feels like a year.
Hey, look at this one.
The world is falling apart.
Yeah. I love that one. I almost printed that one myself. I downloaded the image online, and I almost printed that one. It's fantastic. Well, I mean, the message. The checks. There's so many good signs. I've been taking pictures like you are. There's great signs everywhere.
Says so nice.
Hands off. Let's hope.
I don't know if you remember where you were on Valentine's night. My husband made a really good dinner, and I got the news.
No, Sue says I love it because I got Walmart boxes, and they are anti-this. These are Walmart boxes. A friend of mine, she says I love it. She's like this.
We did our best behind the scenes to try to get that restored. And about a month later, we see an unconstitutional, illegal executive order that reveals exactly what the plan is in Washington. They want to choose their voters instead of their voters choosing them. Right? And Congress seems poised to take the unconstitutional, illegal, just plain bad ideas of that executive order and pass them in a way that would be constitutional, but still unconscionable, through what's called the SAVE Act. And what would that do? What would that do? I just want to be really crystal clear, because I want to give you an action, because I know there's some clipboards circulating, there's some yellow sheets, there's some barcodes for those of you who prefer to sign online. There's a petition against the SAVE Act, and I want you to know what's in it. It would require everyone, when they go to register to vote or update their voter registration, to prove their citizenship. Now, I want to share. Everyone thinks that only citizens should vote in federal and state elections because that's what's in our laws and in our Constitution, right? We all agree with that. That's not the controversy. The controversy is they seek to upend the checks and balances that have made our elections safe, free, and secure, a model of democracy for the rest of the world. They want to do away with all of that and put in place these new requirements that are very strict, very stringent. And as head of the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, I'm here to tell you, we have experience every day working with people who are demonstrating their legal status. For some, it takes months or longer. Sometimes folks have to hire an attorney because, maybe they're from Fort Kent, like one gentleman here today is, and maybe they're senior citizens and they were born across the border in Canada. And they're American citizens, but they come to the BMV, and next year maybe they'll come to the polls, and they've got that birth certificate, and it says Canada. And we say, well, wait a second. I know you served in a war. I know you voted your whole life. I know you've lived your whole life in Maine, but it looks like you're Canadian. Sorry, you're turned away. So what voters are they targeting in this terrible SAVE Act? It is no accident. And I want to share a few things because it's an in-person. It's an in-person requirement as well. They are targeting our overseas military and service people, American citizens serving us abroad, because they want to send our citizens abroad to fight in wars, but they don't want them to vote. They sow fear and war. Today, we sow peace. They're targeting married women and people whose names have changed, because guess what happens if you come to the BMV and your name on your current driver license doesn't match that name on the birth certificate? What will be required under the SAVE Act? We will need to see that trail of name changes through marriage, through divorce decrees, through court orders. That's what sometimes my divorced friends don't save. That original marriage certificate where their name changed. They are targeting married women because they want to control our bodies and our choices, except our choice to vote. freedom. And I mentioned those senior citizens up in Aroostook County that sometimes have a hard time at our Bureau of Motor Vehicles. They make no mistake.
What do you think?
In the SAVE Act, they are targeting our seniors because they want to steal the vast resources of Social Security for themselves.
All across the country. All the way across the country. All the way across the country.
Artificial intelligence over wisdom. They may choose greed, but we choose caring for one another and community here with each other. So,
give me a hug.
A lot of speakers
give her a hug.
Who are going to talk about a lot of really important issues, and I am so grateful for all of them. But here's what's fundamental. If we are to change this, and there are more of us than there are of them, right?
Drums.
It is our democracy. It is our elections, for which we should be so proud. Maine has always been at the top of the nation. In 2022, we were number one in the nation in voter turnout. What we need to do above all is say to them, hands off our democracy. Hands off our democracy. And I want to close with this, because we know that no one in Washington is going to save us. And we don't have billions or millions. We're just regular Mainers, right? But we have each other. We have each other. And like I said, there is more of us than there are of them. And I draw my inspiration from history. I am wearing the bracelet of Suzette Larsen, a survivor of the Holocaust, who was captured by Nazis, deported to Auschwitz with her parents. Her parents were murdered there, but she survived. And she moved to the United States for that American dream. And she fell in love with a man from Maine. She became a teacher. She had a daughter. This bracelet isn't from Auschwitz. It's something she had in her life. And after she passed, her husband gave it to me. I wear that because we do need courage in the darkest of dark times. And I want to share with one more story. So, you know, as Maine's first female Secretary of State, you get to... fancy office, and you got to put art on your walls. And I grew up in Hancock outside of Ellsworth without electricity or running water. Yeah, Hancock, woo! So I don't have like a big fancy art collection, right? So coming into the office, I could have had historical portraits of the secretaries that came before me, but with deep respect and love and admiration for all of the gentlemen in the office here, I wanted some voting rights heroes, some women, some civil rights heroes. So I reached out to the Blue Hill artist, Bob Shetterly, and some of you may know him. And I said, could I borrow a few of your portraits from Americans Who Tell the Truth? It's a series he's painted. And so he loaned to me a portrait of John Lewis, Congressman John Lewis. And this is the quote I want to leave you with, right? Because this is a scary time. It's scary to come to a protest, especially when you see... anyway, it's scary, right? So let me read the quote that is on the portrait that Bob Shetterly painted that hung in my office in those first few months that I was there. This is John Lewis. As a young man, I tasted the bitter fruits of segregation and racial discrimination, and I didn't like it. I used to ask my parents, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, why segregation? Why racial discrimination? And they said, that's the way it is. Don't get in trouble. But when I heard the words of Dr. King, I knew then that I could strike a blow against segregation and racial discrimination. And I'm going to pause for a minute. Go away from the quote. Just think about that. So here's John Lewis, young man, his parents, his grandparents, his great-grandparents, all of their hopes are in him. And they're like, hey, it's not safe. You know, in the South, it wasn't safe when he was a kid. Don't get in trouble. But he hears words that inspire him and move him to act. And that's what I'm hoping that all of us walk away with here today. And thank you so much, Amanda, for organizing. But so... he said, I heard the words, back to John Lewis, I heard the words of Dr. King. I knew then that I could strike a blow against segregation and racial discrimination, and I decided to get in trouble. So he marched in Selma, right? And what happened? He was beaten brutally. His skull was fractured. He was hospitalized. I can only imagine what his parents and grandparents and great-grandparents said then, right? And it would have been easy for him to stop. Go on to college, he was a good student, going to business, have a happy, peaceful life. And instead, when he got out of that hospital, he got back in. And we hear about Bloody Sunday and that march in Selma, but we don't always hear about the next march in Selma. And in the next march in Selma, there were thousands upon thousands of people marching. And President Lyndon Johnson heard that call and could not ignore the outrage of ordinary Americans, just like every single one of us. And then they passed the Voting Rights Act immediately after that. Right? So, in that dark moment, in that hospital, the Voting Rights Act must have felt really far away. And instead, it was introduced the very next month and passed within 6 months. Because the president and those in Washington realized what we realize today, that there were more of them, the marchers, the people, that we, the people, are the most powerful. So let's go back to John Lewis to close. He says, I decided to get in trouble. I decided to get in the way. But it was good trouble, necessary trouble. Democracy is not a state, it is an act. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Kathy J., you're up next. Our peacekeeper friend.
Hey, give me a drum roll. Let me see your sides. Let me see your sides.
Whoever brought their drum. Shout out to all the people who brought musical instruments. Shout out to all the kids in the crowd. I see so many kids. Yes, democracy is for all of us. And here's Kathy Day.
How about that, Amanda? I went to the Bangor Public Library rally last week.
No, it's all right. I'm just.
And I was going to go by myself, and she messaged me on Facebook.
You got a chair. Where'd you get that from?
Oh, yeah, I said, sure.
Where'd you get that from?
She met me there,
Huh?
and we sat front row center. She said, are you going to speak? I said, I don't think so. I wasn't prepared. Next thing I know, she's organizing this crowd, and it's amazing. And I'm really happy to see so many people here. Thank you so much.
Wait a minute.
Yesterday, my son and I took a ride to Canada. What a great country that is.
Thank you.
Just saying. There's signs up there that say, never 51. Never 51. We can't do that to Canada. They would never do it to us even if they had the power. But I'm here to talk about health care today. I'm a retired nurse and an old union organizer. And a patient safety activist. My work is all volunteer, so I survive on 3 modest federal checks every month.
Good. How are you?
I feel personally
How's
and
puppy?
financially threatened every day since January 20th.
She's really friendly.
My father died of a hospital-acquired MRSA infection in 2009. After he passed, I recruited Representative Adam Good, and a lot of you know Adam. He's a fantastic representative from Bangor. To help me get a Maine law passed with stricter rules